Okay, since this next assignment is relatively short, especially if you know what you're doing, you gotta know what you're doing. It can be confusing to figure out what you're doing, but I mean the work is very minimal. I want to do some review here, okay? I want to do what we've learned so far in the unit, okay? I want you to determine the rate of change, and we're on this one, okay? And I want a label, okay? Okay, so I got time, which is expressed in minutes. I've got elevation, which is expressed by feet. Okay, so the minute time goes from 0 to 2 to 5 to 12, and then the elevation goes from 30,000 to 29,000 to 27,500 to 24,000. So first off, you have to decide if it's constant or not, okay? All right, so you make a rate, and then you go here to here, okay? So remember, this is the X, this is the Y, and we have to have the Y over the X. So we're going to put 24,000, we're going to subtract here 24,000 minus 27,500. So put negative 3,500 up here with the feet label. 12 minus 5 is 7. Put 7 beneath it with the minutes label. Now I'll divide that here in a second, but I got to go up, do the rest of them. So I have to decide if the rate of change is constant throughout the whole table. So negative 1,500. 5 minus 2 is 3. So 3 minutes, okay. Then 29,000 minus 30,000 is negative 1,000. And then 2 minutes. So again, what I figured out is that went down 1,000 feet over a time span of 2 minutes. This went down 1,500 feet over a time span of 3 minutes. That has went down 3,500 feet over a span of 7 minutes. Okay, so see if it's the same rate. Just divide it. Okay, negative 500, I'll put that up here. Okay, so negative 1,500 divided by 3, negative 500, I put that here. And that's also negative 500, so we have a constant. So you write constant, but then you got to put out what it equals. Negative 500 is what it equals. Now you got to label that, okay? So feet, minutes, and that's what means feet per minute. Okay, that means at a 13th minute, okay, if I went 13, 14, 15, I'd add negative 500 every time. Okay, next problem is a word problem. The car is 200 kilometers from its destination after 1 hour, 80 kilometers from its destination after 3 hours. Find the rate of change of the car. Your rate of change means you're finding the miles per hour. Okay, to find the miles per hour, you're going to make a table. X would be the hours, Y would be the miles. Of course, we go 0 and block it because we're figuring out the miles per hour. Okay. Or no, not miles. I wrote that wrong. It shouldn't say miles. It should say kilometers, km. Okay, so you got 200 kilometers, so km should be the answer. I screwed that up. So it's km. So you got 200 kilometers, 1 hour. You have 80 kilometers, 3 hours. Now you're going to do what you're doing here to find the kilometers per hour. So how much did that change by? We'll take 80 minus 200. You got negative 120. Put the label with it, kilometers, and 3 minus 1 is 2 hours. So now I can just divide them. Negative 60, okay? Now I want you to do something so that means something to you. Go 4, 5, 6, and that means I can start adding negative 60. Take your 20 and add negative 60. Now if you get a negative on a story problem, if your Y goes into a negative, that's the end of the process, okay? Okay, but this is the answer we're looking for, negative 60. Okay, because it wouldn't be possible to be negative kilometers. Okay, next. We're going to find the slope of the line, okay? Just one line. So again, remember what a slope is. It's the ratio of rise over run. So from the left side, okay, you find your first point, it'd be right here. That'd be 0.1, that'd be 0.2. Okay, so the rise would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a rise of 6, a run of 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 6 over 4, but I can reduce this because on a multiplication table, 6 and 4 are both in the second row. Okay, 4 here's 6, so we divide that by 2. So the slope is actually 3 over 2. M is your slope. Okay, so 6 over 4, because see, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay, that's what you have. Okay, now you need to find the slope, not from a graph, from the two coordinate points, negative 3, 3, 1, 2. So this is x, this is y, this is x, this is y. So we apply our y minus y over x minus x. Okay, so I compare the x's. I would start, that would be the first point. Okay, so 1 on bottom, 2 on top. Then 3 on top, negative 3 on bottom, plus plus. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. Now 1 and 4 are only in the first row, so that's your slope. You don't have to reduce it, negative 1/4. Okay, I want to do another one. 1, negative 2, negative 2 with 3. Okay, so 1, negative 2. So I would start here, negative 2 on top, because 1 is greater of value than negative 2. You're comparing the x's to know what point to start with. Okay, so negative 2 and 1. Then negative 2 and 3. So negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5, and then 1 plus 2 is 3. Now 5 over 3. Now I can't really reduce 5 over 3 because they're only in the first row. So I just leave it, negative 5 over 3 equals m. Okay, then I showed you how to graph using slope y-intercept. So you take out a piece of graph paper. Y equals 2x minus 4. So you got the y by itself. This is m. This is b. So slope, that's your m, and then y-intercept is your b. So it's 2 and minus 4. So I plot the y-intercept first. It is a negative, so it'd be down this way. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Then my slope 2, but I need it in ratio form, so I put a 1. So I go forward 1, up 2. Or you can go up 2, forward 1, or forward 1, up 2. It all does the same thing. Okay, so any point then that's on this line fits the equation. Okay. Again, you don't have to write down this next part, but I'll show you why. Okay, let's look at this point here. Up further, that would be x value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would be a 6, 6 value. So if I would put 6 in for x and take 2 times, wait a second, did I do that right? Yeah, I must not made the line as good as I could. Okay, just ignore that last part. Okay, I'll pick a different one. Yeah, that line I made crappy. Okay, it's because I made a crappy line. so ignore that. Okay, stuck my foot in my mouth. Y, I'll try to do better on the next one. Y equals 3/4 x plus 1. Okay. So you got M and B. Okay, -3/4 is the slope, plus 1 is your y-intercept. Okay, so y, the positives are here, so up 1. Then I go forward 4, and every time I do that, I go down 3. Or you can go down 3 first, forward 4. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Okay, so I'll be taking my ruler and hopefully making a better line than I did on the last one, because that was horrible. It was garbage. Okay. Alright, now I'll try my little point I'm going to make. You can just watch this. So I'm going to make a point right here. Yep, that'll work. Okay. I just created that. So I go, that point there for x, you're at -1, 2, 3, 4. So -4, 1, 2, up 4. Okay. Now I'm going to take my calculator and take -3 ABC4 times -4, because that's your x value, and I'm going to add 1. Now hopefully when I click equals on my calculator I get 4 as a result. I did. Okay, and that can be done with any point. Okay? That's why that works the way that it does. Okay, now finally this idiot here will get you going on what you actually need to know here for today. Okay, write an equation of the line. Now, yesterday what we just did is graph the equations. Now you see the line, you have to get to the equation. Here's how you need to format the problem. You put an equals. You're going to have y by itself over there. Then you're going to have an x, and you're going to make a blank space with something in front of it. That is your slope. That's M. Plus, then you're going to put another blank space at your B. So that's how you start the problem. Okay. Now, we are going to find the M and the B. Remember what M and B mean. M is slope, B is y-intercept. Now the y-intercept's easy to find. Okay, positive, negative. So make a point at where it crosses that line. Okay, that's going to be point number 1. Now how far up is that? 1, 2, 3. So I put positive 3. So just put a 3 there. Then you need to get your own point 2, but you're going to move forward. Do not move backwards from point 1. You should not even be labeling anything on that side. Okay. So I think right here would probably work. What do you say? Okay, I mean that's right there. I mean I could go here, I could go here. Just pick the one I pick in the video, because everybody's going to wind up with the same answer if you do everything correctly. So remember what your slope is. It's rise over run. So I'm going to have to go down 1, 2, -1, -2. So rise is -2. The run, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so -2/4, but you need to go to your multiplication table because 2 and 4 can be reduced by 2. So that ends up being -1/2. There's your answer. Okay. I'm going to do 4 more. Equals with y. You're going to put a blank in front of an x and another blank space. This blank space is my M, this is my B. So remember what M and B represent. M is the slope and B is the y-intercept. Now from the graph, the y-intercept is easy to find. Okay, remember this is positive, this is negative. So mark point 1 where it crosses, point number 1. Doesn't mean I'm putting 1 here, it means that's point number 1. Okay, now that's under the middle. Okay, so I count by negatives. -1, -2, -3. Okay, remember the slope. It's rise over run. That's point 1. Now I got to go find myself a point 2. How about here? Okay. Okay, we have to go up. Positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So positive 6. Okay. Alright, so positive 6 is the rise. Now the run is easy. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have 6 over 3, both positives, but they are both in the third row, so I need to reduce them down by 3, and that would be 2 over 1. Okay. You can put 2 over 1, that's what I'm going to put. If you have a 1, you could just write 2. Okay, it's up to you. If there's a 1 under it. Okay. Okay, now the next one. Y in front. This is M, this is B. Slope, Y-int. Okay. Slope is M, Y-int is B. We're going to get our y-intercept point first. So here's the y-axis. This is positive, this is negative. So go down till the line right there. Well, this is going to be easy, okay, because it's 0. It's right in the middle. It's right in the middle, it's 0. And that is going to be point number 1, okay. Okay, point number 2 will go right there. Good enough, okay. Again, you can pick any point you want. Make sure it's in the make sure it's actually on the line, though. Don't be picking that because you don't know what that is. Okay, right there. Slope is rise over run. Okay. Okay, so this is point 1. That's point 2. So I'd have to rise in a negative direction. Negative 1, negative 2. That's okay. So negative 2. And then the run is forward 2. So you think I can maybe simplify that? I do. That's the exact same number, so we're going to divide by 2, and it's negative 1 over 1. Now you could put negative 1 there without the 1. If you have a 1 on bottom, you can drop it, or you can just keep it there. It's up to you. Okay. Okay, next one, y equals blank x plus blank. You don't need to make any calculations, but yeah. So slope, y-int. So M and B. Okay, we're going to get our B first. So here's the y-axis, positive this way, negative this way. Okay. Alright, so it crosses the axis right there. So from the middle, that's positive 1, 2, 3, 4. So positive 4 is my y-intercept. Okay. That's point number 1. Now, to identify point number 2, you go this way. Okay, always. I don't care if it's going up or down. Could probably mark it right there. Okay. Or you could go further down. You're going to end up reducing anyway, so everybody's going to end up with the same thing. Okay, so rise over run. Okay, this is point 1, this is point 2. Okay, so I'd rise negative 1, 2, so negative 2 is your rise. And then forward is your run, 1. Now, negative 2 over 1 cannot be simplified, so it would stay negative 2 over 1. Okay, I'll go over one more. So you need to write that when you start the problem. So slope, y-int. Slope is your M, y-intercept's your B. You're going to find your B first on the y-axis, okay? Okay, there it crosses. Circle it. How far is that from the middle? It's down 2, so negative 1, negative 2. Remember, positive this way, negative this way. So I mark the point where it crosses from the middle, negative 1, negative 2. Okay, then my slope, remember it's rise over run. So that's going to be 0.1. That's on the left, so 0.2, I just find another point to pick. Right there is maybe good, that's 0.2. Okay, so I got to do my rise. I'd rise in a positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So positive 6 is the rise. And the run, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the run. Okay. So it'd be 6 over 4. You can reduce that by a factor of 2, so you need to do that. That's going to be 3 over 2. Okay, there we have it.